Now, I said already today that we're not going to basically go back and forth with him. We're not. But we have to talk about this. This is hilarious. It's funny. I'm going to enjoy this for a bit. I told you I was going to enjoy this for a bit. It's going to happen. First things first, my name is Casper. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. And we gave Jamie Fernando Gonzalez the opportunity to make our product. We did. We gave him the opportunity. So he called himself making our product. 2 attempts. And each time, in both attempts, the product came up gray. So he's kind of like one of those people that says, okay, I got it this time. I'm going to make a jump for it. I got it. And still fell face first into the ground. We gave you 2 attempts to make the product, man. 2 attempts. I had to come in and help you with it. This is how it's black at the end of the day. It's not gray. So he came in the first time. He called himself, we're going to make this black product. And he said, we got this white paint, we got the silver paint, and I said on camera, the bad idea, you're going to offset the balance of black. It's going to come out gray. And what did it do? It came out gray. As he showed you in part 2, as he was staring at the paint, you see the other side was gray. He said gunmetal or gray. So then he tries it again, but he takes out the white this time. And guess what? It still comes out gray. So then he says, okay, this product has to be gunmetal. That's what it has to be. No, buddy, it's black. I'm sorry. It's a black product. You just couldn't make it. So what I did was I decided to help you out. Because I felt sorry for you. You know, you're working hard. You're trying to make the product, and you keep failing over and over again. So I came in, didn't add in the white, didn't add in the silver. We did straight black with this really high fluorescent glitter. I mean, this stuff you put on the camera, it was just sparkling all over the place. And you can still see it. When I bring the board down, you can just see the glitter just pushing all through. So this doesn't change the offset of the black. It keeps it black, but it has this really crazy glitter look to it that you think would help bring the white levels out. But it didn't work. It failed. Because we deliberately make black products to put against our screens to see if anyone can figure out how to make our products. We do it on purpose. I knew this was going to happen. So apparently what I just did on camera is something called a black versus black. We take black products and put it against our screen. We even make screen paints that are black and put it against our screens. I had to come in here and help you with it. You see that thumbnail? That's you failing hard. Just hitting the ground, legs up in the air, failing hard. So I came in and decided to do some bigger surfaces for some fun. Also tell me to make those 2 products that you made that came out gray and put them against this. See which one pulls a better contrast level. Pretty sure this will because it's actually black. Look at my rollers, Jamie. Let me show you something real quick. Let's roll some of this down real quick. The rollers are a little bit. I want to show you something. See the color of my roller? What color is that roller? Is it gray or is it black? Just in case if you don't know colors, right? This right here is my water gun. See the color on this? See the color on this? You see the difference? You just made great paint on camera trying to make our products. This is black. That's gray. Gray, black. Gray, black. Gray, black. Stop making a fool of yourself on camera. And then because you couldn't make the product right, your only excuse is to try to accuse our product as being gunmetal because you couldn't make it. You failed miserably. You want to give me that challenge at the end of the day to make your products? I'll make every last one of your products in a hot second. Matter of fact, I've already made 3 of them. I made your Metallica mix, I made your personal mix, I made your UV gray, and I can make the Frankenstein easy. Cinemax, we made that too. Actually, we made a deluxe version of it called Cinemax Silver. Did you know that? We did, yes. I can make all your products just like that. As a matter of fact, since you did the demonstrations of the comparisons now, I really don't have to mix anything together. Just slide some stuff off the shelf and basically put a little this and that, and I'm done. I got your stuff. Now, this is the same stuff we made yesterday. We got it in here, in our room, back here. We even put it in your environment that you like to be in the dark, because that's where you like to be at. You don't even have our proper shade, do you? Which one are we at on this one? Is it this one? Or did we walk off with the remote control again? I think we walked off the remote control. I'll be back. Are we out of here? There we go. Let's go over to here. I'm gonna bring you guys up. Sorry, just a little bit down. There we go. Let's get you in there. We just did this demonstration a few minutes ago with the white surface right here, doing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, to show you what happens if those of you who paint black screens and think you actually have a product that's seeing white light, you're not. Because you're on a standalone, you see a white light. The minute you put it against a comparison screen, well, things change. Now, see what's interesting about this here, Jamie? Sooner or later, you were going to basically reach this tone. Because again, you did try it with the white, it didn't work. So you took it out in part 2. And part 2 just left the silver. I don't know why you put water in it. Water is just stupid. Again, you have to put any water in it to begin with. His excuse for water was that it basically makes the paint soupier, and it also makes it smoother because the acrylic paint is hard to use. I have to get that on one knee with this one. How dumb are you at the end of the day? We've all used acrylic paint. Every single one of us gone to some kind of hardware store somewhere in our lifetime and picked up acrylic paint one time or another. Did you ever hear the sales clerk walk over to you and say, hey, you can't use that product because it's too dense, it's too thick, you can't paint that on your wall, you're gonna have to add water to that. Anybody here can vouch for that. Anybody? 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 No, that's not true. You put that on there because there's no purpose to put the water in there to begin with, and you don't know why you put it in there to begin with. You came with just a stupid story to begin with. This is why Danny had to go in and change his product, because you know why? He made some dumb statement about the water using as a delivery system. Without the water, the product would basically dry out. So I said, okay, buddy, you want to play that game? I'll buy your product, stick a camera next to it, and we'll drain the water out of it. Let's see if it turns into powder after 2 days. What happened? He changed his product. He had to. He didn't have a choice. Because that would be embarrassing on camera if we bought that product, had it sitting there, drained it, opened it up, and it was still paint. And he couldn't have let that happen, so now he came up with a whole new product called the PSP, which actually literally sounds like a gaming system, and it is actually a gaming system. But anyway, let's get back to Jamie's trying to make our product. Now you see that thumbnail, Jamie? That's exactly what you did in part 2. Boy, you hit that ground really hard, really hard. I'm surprised you still got your socks on. But anyway, you didn't make the product at all, and you tried so desperately. So I felt so sorry for you, seeing you up there struggling, trying to make this product, and I thought, I need to help him. And that's what I did. I went in and basically, because the only step you had left was to make it all black. What else was you going to do with it? You took out the white already. You were only left with the silver. What else did you have left? So we took this high fluorescent, really bright glitter, and we put it in the product. We mixed it into this little container, had plenty of glitter. It was swimming in glitter. It was so soupy in there. That's your personal word. And then we painted it. And there it is right there. Right there. Isn't that interesting? It doesn't even match us at the end of the day. Which, ladies and gentlemen, we just did another black on black demonstration. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, as for you naysayers, you know why I didn't do the test right away? Because again, the whole theory is I like to give people long enough ropes to hang themselves. You came in a room, you ran your mouth, you talked all this trash, blah, 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 blah. I got your product. I got your product. I got your product. No, you don't. You got a great product on your wall. That's what you have on your wall. That product's darker than yours. When I make the other products and I stick it against that, that's going to blow out the product that you have on your wall, and then we're going to level that as we're doing right now. You don't understand how easy we basically make you guys jokes at the end of the day. You literally sat there and bragged in my room about having a product that he made that was gray. And we turn around and make the product black. And we're going to use that same product to blow out the same product that you claim to have on your wall, and then blow that out at the same time. Oh, that's going to be embarrassing. That's literally like for weeks talking about how you're the champion in wrestling and how you're going to do all this great destruction walking into the ring. And you get hit literally so hard that your boots literally come off and fly right between the ropes into the crowd. The suplex is just so mighty that your body is just impressed into the ring. Your peripheral vision can't even see from side to side because you're that far deep into the ring. And the embarrassment is so great that you can't even walk past the crowd to talk to the announcers. No, you roll off the ring, stop, and roll back underneath. That's how bad it's going to be. That I gave you long enough rope. That's why I say be careful of coming in the room opening your mouth because I'm setting you up. You got set up. It's too easy. You're so fast. You're like watching a bull in a china shop. You're just destroying stuff. You don't think. You run around and talked all that trash. Now what? Okay. All right, so let me explain something to you that you guys that think you can make our products. This is how it all works. I'm not going to tell you how our stuff works. See that black paint sitting up there, the same thing we got in the next room? Well, that product right there, let's put some white logos on real quick while we're talking. White screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, those of you who think that, okay, what if I just use, we gotta turn this down some, set volume to it. We just go to the white screen. We'll use that one. There's no one right there. We can use that one. Okay, there we go. All right, so what if I just do what Jamie did and I put white paint and gray paint into it? That turns to gray. All right, so what if I take the white paint out and I put the silver in it? That turns to dark gray. All right, what if I take a little bit of white paint and a little bit of silver paint and I put that in it? Well, if you put a teaspoon in there, that's not going to change anything much. But the problem you're going to have is the fact that your black levels are going to be way too high, and that's going to turn your screen into this. That's what's going to happen. And if you put too much silver and gray into it to try to fix the, I guess what you call the white levels, then it turns gray. Oh, is this Jamie coming in with a different account? Hello, Jamie. How you doing? Did you fail? You failed really hard, didn't you? Did you make a black product or gray product? No, he doesn't answer questions correctly. You got 5 minutes. Time out with Binky. Time out with Binky. Give it up. What do you mean give it up? I've already won. What do you mean give it up? There is no give up. Where? I already won. Where did I lose at? Tell me where I lost at. Did he make a black product, yes or no? No, he didn't make a black product. He made gray. He even sat down at the beginning of the video and said that the product that he was making was black. But in part 2, when you look at the stick that he used to stir the paint with, he said it was gray or gunmetal. We're not gray or gunmetal. Now, that's a customer, I guess we call sheep at the end of the day, that knows at the end of the day that when we ask them what screen paint do they have, they won't say anything. We call sheep or people at the end of the day that got ripped off by Jamie, but they still consider to worship him. You know, victim at the end of the day is a person who does not come into the room because he's ticked off at Jamie because he got robbed. So there's a difference between the two. No, we won that one. No problem whatsoever. So at the end of the day, you couldn't make the product. But, you know, we'll give him a third time to go. If he wants, we'll give you a third. Jamie, one more time. See if you can make it again. Try to make it again. We'll give you another chance to do it again. Let's try round 3. Wow. All right. Let's do something interesting here. Let's go over to, we leave the mic open to give you guys a chance to talk, but you keep hanging yourselves at the end of the day. You're saying that he made the product? Well, again, if he made the product, shouldn't he be to pass all our product test demonstrations, including the black versus black? Oh, he can't do the test? Well, then what's the problem? All right, just wondering. So we did all those tests for nothing? Yeah, you have to pass the test, buddy. You can't just sit there and paint a gray screen down to a surface and say it's ours. And on top of that, how about he buy the product directly from my website and then do those tests? Go find whatchamacallit. Oh, there's another person right here at the end of the day. Look, I'm about to start taking you guys out of the room. If you can't talk correctly in here, I'm going to have to remove you. I bring the mic in here, just hope you can show some kind of respect and intelligence, but you can't. You can't get upset at the end of the day. Why are you upset at the end of the day? He made 2 attempts to make the product, right? He failed, correctly? Did he make a gray or black product? He made gray. All right then. We came in, we made a black product, and it still didn't match her product. So what's the problem? Okay then. Let me see something from it. Skywork food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, let's see. He couldn't match our product. It doesn't match you on our technology whatsoever. But question I want to ask you. Did the Network Gray 773 match the Cinemax? Yes or no? Anytime. Okay, guess they can't answer that one. I asked you a simple question. A simple question. Did it match, yes or no? Now, keep in mind, naysayers. I'm going to say something real quick. I gave you plenty of opportunity to speak yesterday. We put you in timeouts. This time you'll be banned from the channel. So speak correctly, speak carefully, speak and be polite. I ask you one more time. Yes or no? Oh, wait. This guy in there says he had the screen. Oh, yeah. Yes or no? Did he match the screen paint? Cinemax versus Network Grade 773. Did he match? No, nothing to answer at all, period. Not a thing. All right, good. Unless you want to get banned. Today we're banning you. I'm definitely not to that one. I just sat there and said Cinemax versus Network Grade 773, and you answer which one? Buddy boy, you might get a ban for that one. Oh, too bad. You're playing around with me. I don't have time for it. You just got yourself a ban. Bye-bye. Simple question. It's a simple question. Yes or no? We all watched the demonstrations. You know what you saw at the end of the day. Now you got removed from the channel. Who's next? I got no problem with keeping you on the channel. We really don't have that problem. But again, I told you, I'm not entertaining the nonsense. You can come in here and talk. I don't have a problem with it. But if you want to come in here and carry on and act like a child at the end of the day, then you're automatically getting banned from the channel. That's what's going to happen from now on. We're not entertaining it anymore. Enough people have seen the chat rooms we've been talking in. They got a chance to read your comment sections. They consider all of Jamie's followers to either be sheep, victims, or complete idiots. Because none of y'all can come up with any logical answers at all, period. I ask you at the end of the day, you back this product? I say, hey, what screen do you have when you walk? Can you tell me? None of y'all say a word. What's the problem? You're afraid to back the product up at the end of the day. You're in here talking all this trash. So what screen paint do you have? Then we got other people talking about, oh, I have a cinema gray. Well, if you have a cinema gray screen, what are you doing here to begin with? Because I know you didn't come here to talk about that at the end of the day. We tested those. Now you're just making up screens that you claim you have. And I did check y'all accounts. Most of your accounts are fake. They're not even real. And if you're going to come in here, be a man and use your real account. Oh, I forgot to show something real quick. I'm going to go back to this real quick. Let's go back to here. Let's pause that for a minute right there. I want to grab something. Leave the mic and give you guys an opportunity. This is why they lock the mic all the time. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I want to give you the opportunity to be able to talk. But if you're going to be little kids at the end of the day, I'm not going to entertain it. You understand me? Maybe this stuff may work on his channel. It doesn't work here. You come here, act like you got a little respect, you got some common sense, and talk. Don't be a child. I shouldn't have to talk to you like that. Some of you are grown men and women at the end of the day, and I got to sit here and have this conversation with you. Are you kidding me? Come on now. What are you, like 12 or something? Come on, you got to grow up. Giving you the opportunity. Give you an open mic to give you the opportunity. We expect the other one to come in here and act up. We expect for him, because that's his attitude. That's how he carries on. So basically, you're going to show the same kind of childlike behavior as the guy who makes the product. Well, that says a lot about you at the end of the day. We came in here, we showed you a test, we made a demonstration. He made the product. He caught himself making the product. The product came up gray in both attempts. You know, you guys call our products black at the end of the day. It's a black paint at the end of the day. You can't see anything. It's too dark. But now you're calling us gunmetal. Which one are we supposed to be now? Make up your mind. First you say myself it's black paint at the end of the day. And then you turn around and say it's gunmetal when you can't make it. It comes off kind of sad. So which one am I? Am I gunmetal or am I black? Which one? Now, this right here is the product that we made. Because again, as I said before, our product's not gray, it's black. So we helped Jamie out because we knew he was heading down that road sooner or later. He was already taking out the ingredients bit by bit. You started off saying that you knew how to make the product, and you started off with the white product, which was Bear. I think it was Bear, some kind of white paint, 603, I think that's what it was. So that's what you started off with first, and this PPG, and some water, which you couldn't explain what the water was for. So again, you went the second time around, you showed the paint stick, and the paint stick clearly showed you stated that the product came up gray. But that's not what you said you were making in the first video. You said you were making our black product. We don't make gray. All right, so that was a fail. We already know that from the door. On top of that, the video went missing, and then that just popped back on after you got ridiculed enough about deleting the video. Which you can do that. You can basically bring back the other ones that went missing too. Now, you went in and you removed the white because this time you realized you made a mistake in the first time by adding in the white paint, and the paint came out too gray. So again, you made a mistake because it wasn't in the second video. It was missing. Now, in the second video, you started off with silver because you figured with the silver, this is not going to change the product to gray. And it did. It changed it to dark gray. That's why you were sitting there staring it over and over and over again because you were trying to get it to turn some kind of black, but it was actually staying dark gray. So when you rolled it out, your rollers came out showing gray again. On top of that, once you painted the screen, and you can clearly see you had some kind of tools or equipment over there that was black. The bookcase was black. None of that was matching the paint. So there we go. Oh yeah, I just said you would get blocked right from the door. That if you couldn't come in here with any form of, well, you're going to come here and carrying on and acting up, you're going to get blocked. That's what's going to happen. Don't complain about getting blocked. If I told you get blocked for doing dumb stuff. If I tell you don't stick your hand in fire, you're going to get burned, and you stick your hand and get burned, who you got to complain about? All right then. There you go. Now, this is what happens when you do a comparison. This is how dark it comes up on a surface that basically when you compare it to a white surface. Usually when they do these demonstrations against black paint or black curtains, they'll do this on something called a standalone. There's nothing to compare it to. It just stands by itself. But this is how it really looks. My projector is a 4,000 lumen Sony VPL FH30. That's 1920 by 1080p. It's WXGA. This is commercial we're using right here. It's not that far from the screen. It's right up on top of it. And yet that black paint can't generate. This black paint has a very interesting product that we put into it that allows it to be able to put up this kind of glitter kind of effect to it. See a little glitter effect to it in there right there? There. So with all that glitter we put in there, we can't bring it up at all, period. Now let me show you something interesting. Now without the screen being there, let me show you what it looks like. Now look at it. How does it look now? It looks like it works perfectly fine, right? Because it's on a standalone, that's why. The minute you stick it up against over here, sorry, now it shows its true colors. It comes up dark. So in order for that to work correctly, that thing would have to be sitting right up on top of the projector. And no, it doesn't work with ultra short throws. Ultra short throws give off a kind of different kind of light source. They kind of react different in ultra short throw. They come up much darker. Oh, that's why it doesn't work with ultra short throw projectors. I literally just figured that out. Oh shoot, that's interesting. That's the reason why he put down there it doesn't work with ultra short throw projectors. His product comes out too dark on ultra short throw. But we definitely got to get that down here. We got to order paint. Danny, hurry up and open up that site so we can order. I got people waiting right now to buy. We're going to make a little money for us. All right, so white surface here. All right, let's go over here and let's take this off here. Now, with this being dark, this is supposed to be the same as our product, right? So we should come out just as dark as that surface came, right? Oh, did that hurt? Did it hurt? Did you get your fingers in the pinch off? Did it hurt? Oh, wow. Now, let me explain something to you, Jamie and Partey. Buy my product at the end of the day. If you're going to basically do demonstrations and say that that's my product at the end of the day, we made this stuff at the end of the day. We make black products to put against our screen paints. That product right there will blow out that cheap gray nonsense you made at the end of the day, because that can pull 100% contrast level at the end of the day. Yeah, it can. But your product, that gray stuff, can't do that at the end of the day. Yeah. And by the way, if you're talking about this black surface right here, that's coated with our black technology. That's actually the screen I had in the other room before I painted it on the wall. Da 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 da. Because I know people are looking at that, but that's working fine. That's our technology right there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, getting back to this. How embarrassing is that right there? How embarrassing is that? Now, Jamie, we felt sorry for you. I feel so sorry for you, man. I mean, I see on camera. Try. Just try. Trying to make the black paint. You came on camera, as always, bright-eyed, bushy tail. I'm gonna make it this. I got this. I'm gonna make this. Didn't you do that in the Network Grade 773 video? You came in all bright-eyed, bushy tail, and you kind of bombed the same way in that thumbnail. You bombed pretty bad in that one too. Bare silver screen bombed in that one too. Oh yeah, but you figured you can make our product. That's what you said. You can make the product. And what happened? What did you get black? Or did you get gray? What'd you get? You got gray, didn't you? And then you tried again, like, I got it. Part 2? I got it this time. It looks sad. When you have to make a second attempt, it looks pretty bad. You should have got it right the first time, not the second time. And you came back and you still made gray again. So we came in to help you out. We made it black. And we dropped in some high fluorescent glitter into it. So you want to try it for a third time? Come on, Jamie. I'll put you on call. Do you want to try it for a third time? No. I ain't asked you that. Do you want to try for a third time? Come on, you want to try for a third time? He can't. All right, bye-bye. You got to go. We got to take you off the channel because you're carrying on. I said, come in here and show some respect, and you can't do that. So, goodbye. Where's the other one at? And goodbye. I told you, come in here and show respect. There we go. And let me see. Yep, they're all going. All right, then. We had to block them off the channel because, again, you can't come to respect. Look, man, you bought it on yourself. You came on YouTube claiming to make my product, did you not? And you failed twice. You made a great product both times. You try to even remove items off of the list and try to make it another way, which means shows you failed the first time. Let's figure out a way to do it another time. This is where it gets sad. And then we had to come in and literally make a black one for you to put against our own product, and it still didn't match our stuff at the end of the day. But I bet you, bar none, that this will pull a better contrast than what you just made. How much you want to bet? It's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, while we're here, let's do something funny here. Doesn't we have a dark gray screen up here? We had a dark gray screen up here, didn't we? Let me see. Where do you put that at the dark gray screen? I think it's over here. Why do you keep embarrassing me guys? It'd be embarrassing. Now, let me show you something, James. You're not used to seeing this. See this gray right here? That's called gunmetal gray. You see how dark that is? This is gunmetal. See that? We're going to put this next to our screen here, because that's what you need. And well, we didn't make that product at all. We'll put the white surface next to our screen. Now, if you notice that our technology actually produces such a high white level that you see that gunmetal surface, it looks exactly like the white screen, doesn't it? White surface, exactly the same, doesn't it? And on top of that, we're turning the black paint dark. This is something you can never do in a demonstration because your product will blend. That's the difference between our product and black paint. That's the difference between our product and gunmetal. That's a great from remote controls. Green screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Do you see that? That technology turns gunmetal white. This is what I would do to your great product. I would turn it to a white sheet of paper at the end of the day. That's gunmetal. You know how dark that screen is? So that product you made at the end of the day, I'll put that stuff against this, I'll turn it to a white sheet of paper at the end of the day. And if you try to make it black, which we did here already, beat you to the punch, it's going to come out looking like that. So this is the problem Jamie's going to have trying to make this product. If he adds any kind of gray in it, any kind of white, again, upsets the balance of black, it turns out gray. And if he decides to just put like a teaspoon, like a whole lot of black paint, but just a little bit of gray and white, then it's going to come out so dark that basically it's going to have something called oversaturation of contrast, which means it can't see white light, and therefore it comes out dirty and dark, like you're looking at it right now. So you put in more gray, and now you upset the black levels, and you can't read contrast, and the screen's actually gray. And you put in less, and the screen's too dark, and you can't pick up white. Oh, it just goes back and forth and back and forth. You can't find the balance. That's the problem. And even if you do, well, you can't find the balance because what he put in there doesn't even, it's not, black technology is not developed that way. The minute I saw that, I told you from the door, you already messed up. You really don't know how to make black technology. You can't make it. And if that's the case, the Black Frankenstein that you posted on your site that we purchased for $85 never existed, and you could have never made it even if you tried. You're going to tell me you're an expert in making products? Dude, your paint literally matched the house paint twice. Perfectly. This is why we asked you to do the demonstrations you refused to. But don't worry. I'm going to buy your products, get them down here, and we're going to put you against some network gray. I'm even going to put you against Danny's products. That would be interesting. How many people like to see Danny's products versus Curve Pro? How much do they look alike, and how much do they match house paint in the day? I'm going to do that for you guys this summer. Danny's, we've got to do it bit by bit. Crow's, we got to do it bit by bit because we can't just order everything we want up front because we get canceled orders at the end of the day. They can't back their products. 4K snow screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
She is fearless. Hearts on the line. Depends silhouette, keeping leaks off her mind.
Now, didn't you tell the people that are watching the video when you were trying to make the paint, you said you can add in more black paint if you want? So you were telling them that they can actually just make it darker if they want, right? So we beat y'all to the punch. We did the work for you. We literally made the paint solid black and added this really high fluorescent glitter, which you can clearly see on the projector when we put it up to it. So now what are you going to do? How much blacker are you going to be to make it? Because we beat you to it. So what are you going to do? Because anything under that is gray. So what are you going to do now? See what we did at the end of the day? We basically gave you the ability and the permission to make it, and then we just snatched it away from you that quick. So I'm going to ask you a question. What options do you have? There's Black Nora. Oh, you got yourself a band. Sorry, buddy. Bye-bye. So what are you going to do? I'm going to ask you a question. What are you going to do? What level do you have next? Because he already went in and tried to make it with white and silver. That didn't work. Then he came in, he removed the white and put in the silver, and that didn't work. And we turned around and made it jet black right from the door. So what other option do you have? Because anything you put in there, you're going to upset the balance. You can't make it too black because it turns into this, and you can't make it gray because it's not our product. So how are you going to do it? Ha 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 ha. Enjoy that one. Yeah, we gave you the rope. You just hung yourself. Yeah. See the legs dangling back and forth? You hung yourself. That's what you did. You're dummies at the end of the day. I enjoy embarrassing y'all every day. Every day I love embarrassing you. See, the funny thing about it is, if I had came in and made the product that gray mixture, then that would have gave you plenty of room to come in with a darker gray. See? But what we did was we nipped it in the butt. We just made it black and put the high fluorescent glitter in it. We didn't need to put any water in it because the whole theory of the water was that the paint was impossible to paint down because it was too thick. It was an acrylic. That's a lie. Because we did it right there. That was a complete lie. So we were able to roll the screen with no problem. As he said, the water had to be added into it to keep the screen because the acrylic paint was very dense and hard to paint. That was a lie because he couldn't figure out exactly what the water was for. It was just messy. We were able to roll that in multiple times with no problem, with no water whatsoever. If that's the case and your product is made out of acrylic paint, that means you would have to have water in your paint. And if you have water in your paint that you put in there, they would show a separation in a couple of, let's say in about a day or so, you would have a separation. So when people would buy your product, you would have this much water, depending on how much water you have in it, you would have this thin layer of water that didn't mix well with the paint because it's not supposed to be in there. Since you don't have that in your paint, you don't put that in there. And therefore the theory you just stated on YouTube is completely false. You guys don't think when you talk, do you? Gee whiz. Dumb things you guys say out of your mouths. So, again, we just nipped it in the butt, that's all. If I came out and made the products that you made, all you would do is just turn around and say, well, I can make a darker gray version. He don't have, no, we nipped in the butt, we made it black. And we put a high, just to show it's not just black paint, we put a high fluorescent glitter in there. You could see that stuff reflecting off the light when I was moving it back and forth. So you can tell it was an everyday normal glitter that we dropped in there. So, what color are you going to make it now? You can't make it any blacker than it already is, that we just did. And if you make it anything underneath that, it becomes gray. So where are you at now? See how easy it is to basically come in and crush you guys? Look, people, I've been around for 12 years. I've dealt with companies at the end of the day. You guys are too easy. You're like swatting fruit flies. There's no challenge at all. At least with companies, it's like fighting a pterodactyl from time to time or a huge, massive hawk. But you guys in the day are nothing. You're too easy. I can literally set you up for the serve every single time, and you will fall for it. And I'll sit there and spike that ball right in the middle of your face. And you just sit there and take it and deal with it. So, what color are you going to come up with? We just made the final color. Gee whiz, too easy. You don't give me no challenge whatsoever. So, Jamie, let me explain to you. See right here? See this color right here we got on here? See the color of this water gun? See that color on it? It's gray. Two types of gray. We got a darker one here and a lighter one here. You see that? What color is that? That's black. Does it look like this or this? It doesn't. That means you made a gray product. You do know the color of gray. All right, just want to make sure you know. You could sit there on camera and lie and say, oh, there's different shades of black. Yeah, there's different shades of black, but they don't come up looking gray. I can sit there and show you on my screen the difference between this and my screen. It's basically two different shades of black. But guess what? They're both black. One's not gray and one's not black. There you lie on camera too much. Oh, real quick. Do you know what color this is? This is actually black. It's just a different shade of black, but it's actually black. Keep it up and you don't know your colors. I swear I'm going to whip out a chalkboard. A chalkboard, a bouncing ball, and some sock puppets. I'm going to pay someone to dress up like a dinosaur. Called Mr. Wrong. That'll be you. I'm going to teach you colors at the end of the day because you don't know colors. Kind of time you work for. I know you work for a printing press. We know that. I know colors. I'm an expert. Do you think when you talk, you literally match gray house paint perfectly, and you had a nerve to say that out of your mouth? Did you forget you made the demonstration? I'm sorry, people. I got to ridicule this guy. This guy literally matched house paint, and he sits there and says, "I know the difference between colors because I'm an expert." That's an expert. I feel sorry for everybody else on the planet. I really do. I bet you the only person I know to blow through a freaking street light and say, "Oh, it's just all one color." No colors at the end of the day, man. So again, long story short, all jokes aside, we nipped it in the butt. I see you were struggling just to get a black screen because you kept saying on camera, you know, if you put a little more black paint into it, you can make it a little darker. You know, this will make it a little darker. So we basically made it darker for you. So, question. Can't get no blacker than black, right? So what color are you going to get next? You got another attempt. I'm going to give you 2 more attempts to make my product. And since we already made it black, then you figure out what color it's going to be, because it's going to have to be black. We already did it already. So what color are you going to make? Because it's going to have to be gray. Because we already made black, and it didn't match. So what choice you have next? You don't have any. You have nothing left. We took it from you. Now I said in the video, we're not going to entertain you. I'm entertaining this. I'm definitely. You try to make my product at the end of the day, and you failed twice. I'm going to make sure you never forget this as long as you live. You shouldn't have did it. You made a big mistake. I gave you permission. I told you you can make it, but you shouldn't have did it. That's that pride. Gets the best of you, that ego. Just like I can sit there and tell you at the end of the day that if you change the word deliver on your website, that means I'm smarter than you. And you let your pride get the best of you. I'm just one person at the end of the day. Who cares if I think you're an idiot? But if 100 people jump on your website and they see you spelled the word delivered, they all think you're an idiot. Which would you rather have? Just me or 100 people think you're an idiot? You don't think. You're easy to manipulate. That ego of yours is going to get you an eviction notice. I told you, Monday morning, I'm calling license inspection. I'm going to contact California's district section, and I'm going to send them over everything they need to see. Your apartment is a hazard at the end of the day. Or no joke, this is different, separate. You need to get that cleaned up. I'm not going to sit there and say at the end of the day and make a statement like that, because that would be truly wrong and very immature. I'm talking to you man to man. Forget all this here. Forget all this. This has nothing to do with it. I'm talking to you man to man. If you want, you can look at the wall if you want. This has nothing to do with screen paint at the end of the day. This is man to man responsibilities. You need to get that mess out of there, because that's extremely dangerous, man. I showed that to a few people today. I got a couple of my family members that work for the city, and they was like, "What the freak? You can't have aerosol cans that many in an apartment. You got a ticking time bomb in there, man. I'll be afraid to sleep at night. You never know what any one of those cans are going to trigger off and do." I was terrified about having aerosol cans in my house. I had about 4 or 5 of them, and I didn't keep them in the house at all, period, in fear that them things would explode. I didn't even like using them half the time. You never know what's going on inside that can. And you got it in an apartment that the climate changes from hot to cold. Turn the air conditioner on, things can go wrong with those cans. If it's too cold in there, if it's too hot, you can have problems with them. You got them all bunched together inside of that compartment you have it in. And guess what else I found out too on top of that? I did a little research on 3D printing. Now look, your 3D printing skills are amazing. I can tell you that right from the door. I always tell people, I give credit where credit is due. I'm not going to sit there and slander somebody at the end of the day and say, "Oh, that's trash." If you're trash at something, then you're trash at something. If you're good at something, then you're good at something. I've seen your 3D printing from time to time. It's pretty good. It's very, very good. That's the kind of person I'm in today, because I'm a man at the end of the day. I don't basically have to tear people down in order to make myself feel good. Just like I said with Black Diamond, the way they treated us at the end of the day, not a big fan of them, but I respect the technology. It's extremely good. I give credit where credit is due. I've seen your 3D printing skills, quite nice. But I'm going to tell you something. That stuff requires chemicals, a lot of chemicals to run that stuff. And you got those chemicals in there, in that area, along with those containers of paint you have in there. It's very, very dangerous what you got going on there, and you need to get it cleaned up. Not trying to be disrespectful in any way, but you literally need to get it cleaned up. You live in an apartment, my man. There's other people living around you. God forbid if that stuff ever explodes or something goes wrong, you're going to kill somebody. Let me turn this down. Not busting on your home, and at the end of the day, you just need to clean it up. That's what you need to do. Man to man, you need to clean it up. But I see the 3D printing skills. Yeah, very nice. Very, very, very nice. See, that's the difference between me and you. I don't have that kind of hatred that you have for me at the end of the day. I can see your statues that you have in there. Nice collection. I can say it at the end of the day. I can sit there and say, "Hey, seen your 3D skills? Very nice, very professional. I like that at the end of the day." But I'm honest about your product. Your screen paint doesn't work, man. It doesn't. You don't have enough testing on your product. It's not a very good product. You need to work harder and make a better product. But see, that's the problem with you. Now with me, you can't say nice things about me. You can sit there and say, "Oh, he's this and that, he's garbage, he's trash, he's blah, 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 blah," because you're a nasty human being at the end of the day. That's what kind of person you come off as. I don't come off that way. Always give credit where credit is due. I don't care if I dislike a person from sun up to sundown. If I see somebody does impressive, I'm gonna give them that credit. Oh, that's very nice. I like that right there. But I still don't like you at the end of the day. I don't have no hatred for you. There's no hatred for you, Jamie. At all, period. There's none. At all, period, for you. I'm not going to spend my entire day in hatred. For what? I've done that stuff when I was young. When I was a young boy, I did all that dumb nonsense. I'm not doing that stuff now. Give that stuff to God and move on. But this definitely needs to be addressed. You try to make my product. So I have to make an example of you. And when I get done making an example of you, then anybody else who wants to follow down your path is going to know exactly what's going to happen to them, and it teaches them to back away from our stuff. Just like taking you to court and suing you. We have to take you to court and sue you so you know not to touch people's copyrights. And therefore, if anybody else tries to do the same dumb thing you're doing, they're going to say, well, that guy got his clock clean. I don't want to go through that. And we have to use you as an example. That's all. All right, well, we're finished up here. We gotta let these dry, and we got a storm blowing through in a couple of minutes. I'm still gonna do a little gaming and everything, and that's basically about it. But yeah, I went and checked this 3D printing out. He's very, in some ways, Jamie has intelligence. He does. But lying to people about screen paint products, not doing things right by the book, man, you know you're doing wrong at the end of the day. You know you went in there on camera, you matched that product. As a man, you should have went in and apologized to your customers. You should have pulled the product off your website completely. And any screen paints you should have developed from here on in should be under those products for testing. So that way you can reassure your customers that you're not basically pulling the wool over their eyes once again the second time around. All right, well, gotta go. Gotta wait these to dry, and I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. I can be with family, but Monday morning we're gonna get on these. Gotta go. Thank you all, and God bless.